During segregation, Black travelers boarding a bus faced a question most passengers never considered. Where along this route can I safely eat? The answer shaped 15 meals, from wrapped snacks in a pocket to hot plates at Black-owned counters, that carried people through uncertain miles. Nearly all have vanished. We're counting them down, starting with a pairing that needed no plate and no friendly counter at all. In the 15th place, the humble pairing of a hard-boiled egg and a pickle spear offered a no-utensil snack that required no friendly lunch counter. Often wrapped in simple paper and tucked into a pocket or bag, this combination was a lifeline of inexpensive protein and salt during long, unpredictable trips. While no official bus depot menus listed this informal ration, recollections of Green Book-era travelers confirm its constant presence. This self-contained meal eventually faded from the road as refrigerated vending machines and prepackaged commercial snacks took over terminal waiting rooms in the late 1960s. In the 14th place, a simple cup of hot water and coffee offered a vital pause at bus terminal stands. For travelers enduring long overnight layovers in drafty, segregated waiting rooms, this basic beverage provided warmth and alertness at a minimal cost. It required no interaction with hostile lunch counters, where service was often denied or delayed. Instead, passengers could quickly purchase this reliable fuel to keep themselves going. By the late 1960s, this station ritual faded as automated vending machines replaced staffed coffee counters and redefined terminal dining. In the 13th place, the shrimp po' boy packed crispy fried shrimp into a split French bread roll, dressed with fresh vegetables and creamy sauce. Travelers along Gulf Coast routes ordered this handheld sandwich wrapped in butcher paper from neighborhood delis or counters, bypassing the long waits of sit-down dining. Deeply rooted in New Orleans' working-class culinary traditions, it provided a substantial, highly portable alternative to a seated seafood plate. While mid-century soul food menus listed it, direct proof of terminal sales remained sparse. The meal eventually vanished from transit routes as interstate highways bypassed the independent coastal cafes that served it. In the 12th place, a simple plate of stewed beans paired with fresh cornbread or hot water bread provided cheap, reliable protein. Travelers found this hearty combination cooked in large batch pots at rural general stores, roadside cafes, and informal rest stops along Great Migration routes. Seasoned with smoked meat, the exact recipes and bread styles varied by community, offering familiar comforts to families moving through the country on tight budgets. This traditional foodway eventually faded as new interstate bypasses closed small rural stores, and commercial fast food franchises replaced independent highway diners. In the 11th place, hot biscuits and coffee offered a reliable breakfast for travelers on early morning routes. Often purchased at Black-owned service stations and roadside snack bars, a warm, flaky southern biscuit, plain or filled with salt-cured ham, paired with a strong cup of coffee. This inexpensive fast option kept passengers full during brief fuel stops. While no specific mid-century menu survives, memories celebrate these independent stops as welcoming community anchors that did far more than pump gasoline. This roadside morning routine eventually disappeared as self-service gas pumps and prepackaged foods replaced staffed, local food counters in the late 1960s. In the 10th place, a slice of sweet potato pie offered a dense, spiced dessert that traveled remarkably well. Unlike fragile cream-based pies, this baked custard filling, fragrant with nutmeg and cinnamon, remained stable without refrigeration. Travelers purchased slices wrapped in wax paper from bus depot counterdomes, or enjoyed them as comforting finishes to boarding house dinners. Rooted in Southern agricultural traditions, family recipes varied across regions. This homemade roadside comfort eventually faded in the late 1960s as commercial, prepackaged pastries took over station snack bars, and independent Black-owned diners began to close. Number 9. A hot golden fish fry, complete with crispy hush puppies and cool coleslaw, was a traveling lifeline. Roadside cafes and service station kitchens prepared these plates in large batches, allowing hurried travelers to get a steaming, protein-rich meal during brief stops. Rooted deeply in Southern church and neighborhood gatherings, the fish fry brought communal warmth directly to the highway. Yet, as the 1956 Highway Act bypassed small towns and standardized franchises arose, these independent roadside kitchens faded, taking the fresh, hand-battered fish fry off the traveler's route. 8th place. A hot fried catfish plate offered travelers a filling, fresh-caught meal shaped by the local geography of the Mississippi Delta and Louisiana. Typically served as a cornmeal-crusted fillet alongside starch and coleslaw, roadside cafes cooked these freshwater entrees to order or in small batches. While official station menus are rare, memories of travelers confirm that passengers eagerly detoured to friendly rivertown diners specifically for this southern staple. Access to these independent kitchens eventually declined in the late 1950s, as new interstate bypasses diverted highway traffic away from small-town business districts. Number 7. The half-smoked sausage, split and grilled, then smothered in warm, spicy chili and tucked into a soft bun. At urban counters like Ben's Chili Bowl, established along Washington, D.C.'s bustling U Street corridor in 1958, this hot, handheld meal offered a quick, filling option for travelers during brief city stops. The robust pork and beef sausage provided cheap, reliable fuel, with a distinct regional flavor. While iconic spots like Ben's survived, many similar independent city lunch counters eventually closed as corporate fast food chains expanded and shifted the economics of quick-service dining in the late 1960s. 6th place. A hot bowl of Creole gumbo offered a substantial sit-down meal at the end of a long trip. This thick stew, combining seafood, chicken, sausage, and vegetables over a highly seasoned base, was typically served with rice or crusty bread. Combining African, French, Spanish, and Caribbean influences, gumbo represented New Orleans foodways at their finest. At legendary Black-owned landmarks like Dookie Chase's, which opened in 1941, this dish nourished both weary travelers and civil rights activists. Over time, neighborhood disruption, rising costs, and desegregation changed travel patterns, causing many of these traditional hospitality stops to fade. In the 5th place, the fried chicken sandwich turned a Southern classic into a portable, handheld meal. At Atlanta's Black-owned lunch counters, like Pascal's on West Hunter Street, travelers purchased this 52-cent specialty. It featured a seasoned bone-in chicken breast served on white bread with simple toppings of lettuce and tomato. This fast counter service provided civil rights organizers and busy bus passengers a hearty meal to eat on the move. However, as integration opened white-owned diners and new interstate highways bypassed downtown business districts, these landmark city lunch counters faced declining foot traffic, causing this handmade travel staple to fade. Number 4. A thick slice of pound cake, dense, buttery, and wrapped in simple wax paper, was a beloved centerpiece of the travel shoebox lunch. Unlike delicate cream pies, this sturdy dessert survived days on the road without refrigeration, supplying quick energy when welcoming stops were miles away. Often flavored with a hint of vanilla or orange zest, the cake represented hours of Southern home baking and the protective care of domestic labor. This handmade travel comfort eventually faded as commercial plastic-wrapped pastries took over transit stations in the late 1960s. In the 3rd place, a steaming portion of cooked greens, whether mustard, turnip, or the collard greens famously advertised at green book stops like Columbia's Green Lance, offered an inexpensive, filling vegetable component on a busy traveler's counterplate. This slow-cooked side provided familiar flavor and reliable nourishment during long, exhausting journeys. Preparation varied across regions, with Deep South kitchens seasoning with smoked pork, while Mid-Atlantic counters relied on distinct local broths. This daily kitchen staple eventually disappeared from transit routes as lunch counters closed, menus narrowed and standardized. Corporate fast food sides replaced slow-simmered vegetables by the late 1960s. In 2nd place, a hot cornbread wedge was a travel staple that sustained millions on the road. Whether ordered at a roadside lunch counter or pulled from a packed shoebox lunch, this simple, baked cornmeal square was cheap, portable, and incredibly filling. Regional preferences traveled with the passengers. Upper South versions leaned sweet and crumbly, while Deep South skillets turned out savory, dense wedges. Often slathered with butter, it paired perfectly with roadside beans or fried chicken. This daily travel starch eventually faded as scratch-baking diners closed, replaced by standardized fast food biscuits in the late 1960s. And finally, in 1st place, the pan-fried chicken travel meal stands as the defining anchor of the segregation-era highway. Whether ordered at welcoming Green Book stops like Mr. Lindsay's Green Lance restaurant in Columbia, Missouri, or packed into cardboard shoeboxes before departure, fried chicken was the essential backbone of planned Black travel. Seasoned with black pepper and cayenne, this durable, calorie-dense protein remained appetizing without refrigeration during multi-day bus rides. It was so central to the mid-century travel experience that passenger routes became affectionately known as the Chicken Bone Express. This home-cooked travel staple eventually faded from roadside stops in the late 1960s as the interstate highway system bypassed small-town business districts, and corporate fast food franchises replaced the independent Black-owned kitchens that once sustained families on the move. Across these 15 meals, a deeper truth emerges. Food mapped a vital network of survival and community care. These dishes prove that hospitality was an act of resilience. Though these roadside counters have vanished, their legacy of ingenuity remains. Which of these historic meals surprised you? Let us know.